I want you to imagine a room. It is a quiet laboratory in New Mexico in the year 1946. 8 men are standing in the room. In the center, there is a table, and on the table, there is a sphere of beryllium metal. Inside that sphere is a 14-pound ball of plutonium. It looks harmless. It looks like a paperweight. But the men in the room know that if the two halves of the metal sphere close completely, the plutonium will go critical. It will release a blast of lethal radiation that will kill everyone in the room. The only thing keeping the sphere open is a single, ordinary flathead screwdriver held by the hand of a scientist named Louis Slotin. His hand is steady. He is confident. He calls this experiment tickling the dragon's tail. But on May 21st, 1946, the screwdriver slipped. This is the true story of the Demon Core. It is a story about human arrogance. The scientists at Los Alamos had just built the atomic bomb. They felt like masters of the universe. They ignored safety protocols because they thought they were smart enough to control the danger. The core, nicknamed Rufus, had already killed a man. A year earlier, a scientist named Harry Daghlian dropped a brick on it by accident. He saw a flash of blue light. He panicked and knocked the brick off, but it was too late. He died 25 days later in agony. You would think this would teach them a lesson. But Louis Slotin continued to experiment on the core, using a handheld screwdriver to separate the lethal halves. On that Tuesday afternoon, Slotin was showing off to his colleagues. He lowered the top half of the sphere. The Geiger counters in the room started clicking faster. He was finding the edge of criticality. Suddenly, the screwdriver slipped from his grip. The metal shell clanged shut. Instantly, the room was filled with a blinding flash of blue light. This was Cherenkov radiation. It happens when high-energy particles move through the air faster than light moves through that medium. Every man in the room felt a wave of heat wash over them. Slotin described a sour, metallic taste filling his mouth. In a split second, Slotin reacted. He jerked his hand up, flipping the metal shell off the core and onto the floor. He stopped the reaction. He saved the lives of the 7 other men in the room. But he knew he was already dead. He looked at his colleagues and said, "Well, that does it." He took a piece of chalk and drew a map of the room, marking exactly where everyone was standing to calculate who received the most radiation. Slotin was standing right next to the core. He had absorbed a lethal dose of neutrons and gamma rays in less than a second. He walked out of the building and vomited. By the time he got to the hospital, his hands were swollen and red. For the first few days, he seemed fine. This is the cruel walking ghost phase of radiation poisoning. The body is dead, but the brain doesn't know it yet. But soon, his DNA began to unravel. His white blood cell count dropped to 0. His skin began to peel off. 9 days after the screwdriver slipped, Louis Slotin died. The Demon Core was eventually melted down and used in a nuclear test. It was destroyed, but the lesson remains. Science is powerful. Physics is absolute. You can be a genius. You can be a hero who helped end a war. But radiation does not care who you are. If you disrespect the laws of physics, even for a split second, there is no negotiation. The dragon will bite. This incident changed scientific safety forever. Today, we use robot arms and thick glass walls to handle radioactive material. We never touch the core with our hands. But we still take risks. We still build technologies, like AI or bioweapons, that are just as dangerous as that plutonium core. And sometimes, we are still just holding the door open with a screwdriver, hoping our hand doesn't slip. I am your host. Don't tickle the dragon. Subscribe.